Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to do a quick video dealing with the highlights of the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Firstly, let's talk about the man on the stand, Mthobisi Mncube. This is the guy that everybody was waiting for because they could see his resilience. They could see how strong he was when it comes to objections and when it comes to his hand being up and the things that he would say through his lawyer after hearing certain things inside the courtroom. So he made people very curious about the person that he is going to become on the witness box. Let me tell you, he did not disappoint. So far, he started Monday. Was it Monday? He started last week, Monday. And this week, he's still on the witness box. And my God, he is not disappointing the people that had faith in him. He is out here showing everybody how this case has been cooked, how this case has been manufactured, how this case has been forced on him. That is what he is doing. Before we do that, guys, please make sure that you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you'll be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Now let's do a quick recap of what has happened so far. One of the first things that we must really talk about is that Mr. Mncube has completely denied any involvement in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Mncube told the court that he had nothing to do with Senzo Meyiwa murder and denied ever entering the Khumalo home back on the 26th of October 2014. Secondly, he denied being the gunman. The state alleges Mncube was the dreadlocked intruder who fired the fatal shot. Mncube rejected this, saying that he never carried a firearm at that crime scene. He knows nothing about that. Thirdly, the cell phone evidence. OMG, we are going to go through each everything that he said, ne? And then we are going to actually say why it makes sense what he says. But for now, we are doing highlights because my God, the guy, OMG. So there is also cell phone evidence. He relied heavily on cell phone records and tower pings, arguing they support his version that he was not at the murder crime scene when the shooting occurred. He says he was at his place because it was at night, perhaps he was sleeping. Mncube testified that by the time Senzo Meyiwa was shot, he was already gone to sleep, explaining why there was no further activity on his cell phone later that night. And then there is also the issue of identity parade challenge. Okay, it's very challenging. Okay, one of his strongest legal points was that police never subjected him to an identity parade when he was first linked to the case. He argued this denied eyewitnesses the opportunity to identify the real perpetrators and amounted to a miscarriage of justice. That is what that man is busy doing in that witness box. And then he also questioned Kelly Khumalo's absence. Mncube asked why Kelly Khumalo, who was present in the house when Meyiwa was shot, has not testified in the current trial. He argued that everyone in their house should have been called to give evidence. He also questioned if Kelly Khumalo is the so-called mastermind. Why was Kelly Khumalo not arrested and be accused number one with them in the case? Why is she not accused? And he also clarified to say, I am not saying that Kelly Khumalo did send people to kill Senzo. No, but I'm saying if that's what the police are claiming, then why is she not here? Because she was fingered by the so-called people that by accused 1 and 2 who allegedly did confessions. So why is she not arrested? That is one of the other things that he questioned regarding Kelly Khumalo. And he is also challenging the police investigation. Oh, he is having a full day when it comes to that. He is challenging Gininda to the core. And he doesn't give a damn about Gininda. He doesn't brigadier him. He calls him Gininda to show that he doesn't give a damn. He has zero respect for Gininda. And you can see he's a very respectful man because he is very calm. There's no emotions. He's very calm, cool, collected in that stand, but he says what he wants to say and he's very clear what he's saying. One thing that made it clear for me as Umadikela was that he respects no Gininda because he said when he spoke about Jadrat and Nkosiyangantolo, and then when he spoke about Baloyi, he said Advocate Baloyi, Babu Baloyi. And then when he spoke about Sibanda, he said Sibanda to show that he has little respect. He has zero or little to zero respect for Usibanda either. And then when Gininda has been the subject of his mouth from day one, that one, he has never showed any respect. He calls him Gininda, you don't care. Like, the entire situation became very serious, guys. The entire situation became very serious. So he is challenging the police investigation, which is the unit Gininda, which is called squad, cold case unit. I call them the cold storage unit. Okay. He criticized the investigation, saying investigators focus on implicating him instead of following proper investigative procedures, particularly regarding eyewitness identification. Well, the eyewitness identification, you will all remember that it speaks about people, about intruders that are dark-skinned. First intruder being dark-skinned, the one that had a firearm in his hand, and the other intruder being light-skinned, the tall one. So there's a mismatch of details in those people inside the house statements. It's a mess. Everything is a mess. Now, these issues are likely to be central to the court's assessment of Mncube's credibility and whether his version is reasonable, possible, true when weighed against the state evidence. Well, for you to even understand, please understand this. They are still dealing with the same evidence that was brought by the state. There is nothing new that they brought. There is nothing new that Mncube brought, but Mncube is busy with the rebuttals and making sense in his rebuttals using the same evidence that was brought by the state. The cell phone evidence of his phone. My God, if I tell you this man is out here eating the entire state case alive. The entire state case is being chopped into pieces and it's not even funny. I don't know, man. The other weird thing, we'll talk about that in another video, is Judge Rata. He's not destructive. He is attentive to the core. Judge Rata Mokwatleng, yes, he asks questions here. Sorry, here and there, and makes comment here and there. But one thing I can tell you, Mugai is very attentive, Judge Rata Mokwatleng. Very attentive, Gesana. Payana. It's not even funny the way he is so attentive. He is here also. He is quiet. It's quite scary the way he wants to hear the evidence. I don't know about you, but I feel like we are having a filled day with Mncube because Mncube is taking Gininda from post to pillar and is reversing everything there, but he is denying ever being involved whatsoever. And he made sense with a lot of things that he said. So I'm going to break all of that down for you so that you understand what Mncube was saying. What are your thoughts when it comes to the evidence of Mncube? It's still the evidence in chief, by the way. So what are your thoughts when it comes to this? How are you feeling about this? Let's talk with comment section. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.